Good afternoon, beautiful people. Today we have a big day in store for Cold Front Mafia. We got Bradley Chubb under film session and study, and I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what you see here. Bradley Chubb was signed 2 days ago. Standard drop on TikTok. Bradley Chubb was signed 2 days ago by the Miami Dolphins to a 3-year deal out of free agency. He's outside linebacker, edge type. You can label him whatever the heck you want to label him. That said, that's what he does. All right, that's where he plays. He actually is very experienced in the 3-4 scheme, 3-4 style defense from Miami, and obviously, and also, from his Denver days, to where he should fit in quite nicely with what Jim Leonard is trying to do and is going to be doing in Buffalo this year, which is, again, 3-4 aggressive style defense. So we're going to get into Bradley Chubb and some film breakdown and why I think the fit is actually very, very good between the Buffalo Bills and their new defensive coordinator and Bradley Chubb. I don't see any issues whatsoever with him being able to be productive. I know a lot of people have said now he's old, he's washed, he doesn't have what it takes necessarily. I beg to differ. I know he had an ACL a couple of years ago, and obviously I'd rather not bring in someone that had an ACL a couple of years ago, but it is what it is, and I don't think that it's going to create an issue. Last year, he was still very productive on the football field. Soren, how are you? Shannon, hello. Good afternoon. Happy Saturday to you. A couple of comments that I want to hit here on YouTube before we get into the film. Brian Webster, Buffalo Bills get more players. Man, they're every day they're getting somebody new. Looks like I might catch Front Live, the Mad Chatter says. Yeah, baby, here we are. Geno Stone might be here to compete. Our starting safeties are Jordan Hancock is what he means, and Cole Bishop. Well, no, not necessarily, because you also have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's most likely going to start. Yes, there we go. If he doesn't storm out. Say Franklin get cut. Sam Franklin was re-signed. So he's not going anywhere. We need to not let Slay off easy. Well, yeah, so Eagles must pay. Agreed. And I think if anything, there's some kind of compensation that can happen there, which I've read. I don't know the complete ins and outs of what the possibilities are, but there are some, and I think the Bills will do their best to take advantage of that. I truthfully do. We're only team that is in debt with cap right now and really no one to cut. Well, no, there's people to cut. There's things to do, and I do strongly feel that Brandon Beane has got somewhat of a plan and a vision. I questioned that a little bit, I guess, in the beginning after the first couple days of the tampering period. However, it appears now we're talking about and a true plan, especially with what Jim Leonard wants for his defense and the type of players that he wants his defense to be filled with. So without further ado, Chubb is maybe a top 25 edge. I absolutely believe that he is. It's not going to be elite, maybe heal up. I think Chubb, he might not be elite, but how many players fall into the elite category? I don't know. That's an individual determination and what you feel is kind of, your opinion. I would feel one number, somebody else would feel something different. That said, let's get into it. Well, first of all, I'm sorry, one more thing. Brandon Beane, you have to give him this, is as good as anybody to keep home talent in town for under market value. What he did with Dawson Knox was, quite honestly, pretty silly in my opinion, because Dawson Knox finally, it took a while, but finally his extension numbers came out just yesterday, I believe. And here it is. Just want to show you this before we get into the film and prove that Brandon Beane is he's got to be the best in the business at this, in my opinion. Dawson Knox, 3 years, $20 million, $10 million guaranteed at signing, 3.5 million more next March. 2 years, $14 million, which is totally practical. And I completely agree with that. And they saved $8.5 million. So now he's in a territory for like a good blocking tight end, which in my opinion, he's more than that. He absolutely is. So, you got to give credit where it's due. And I think Brandon Beane deserves credit for that without question. So get that out of there. Just wanted to hit that before we get into the film. Front, do you think McDermott was the one keeping the olds and mids on D because he liked them rather than bringing in betters? I'm not saying that he didn't want to bring in betters, but I will admit to the fact that his way and his personnel idea was obviously different than what Jim Leonard's is, and his whole scheme of defense was different, and the mindset was completely different. That's where I think the biggest change is. Just different. Now it's simply physical attitude, pressing the offense, and making them kind of react and respond to us as a defensive unit. That is what Jim Leonard, CJ Gardner-Johnson just came out and said it as well, have told us this defense will be. And I can appreciate that. Now, the players that we've had in the past don't necessarily fit that mold. They're not the fast, twitchy, aggressive, flying after the football guys, which I like that type of defense. That's how I would do things if it was up to me. And I am so thrilled about the defense is going that players are actually complimenting Jim Leonard quite well, and we're going to get into it. I keep saying without further ado, and then everybody – not your fault, but everything happens. Charlie Cole is just a blocking tight end. He gets 3 years, $24 million. That's $8 million for blocking tight end. And Knox can block and also be productive in the receiving game. Exactly correct spin. That's exactly what I meant by that, by what I just said. So now he's roughly the same, well, a little bit less than that, and he can do both. So Brandon Beane is as good as it comes in the business for keeping home people in house at market value. All these games of 30 plus on us was inexcusable. 100% the deal out. 100% Mad Chatter. So why don't we show right now why that is coming to an end? Let's get into it. Oh, I'm excited. Bradley Chubb coming in the house. Which ones do we want to show first? I want to first give you some examples of Bradley Chubb. Sacking the quarterback. Let's start with that. Okay. Here's Bradley Chubb coming in and sacking the quarterback. I'm sorry, TikTok did not give me what I need yet as far as being able to share my screen with you folks. I wish there was a way that we could all petition and send in a little note to TikTok and say, give Cold Front a stream key. That's all I need, so I can put it over here in this computer and you can see what everybody in YouTube is saying. If you want to see the film, first of all, you have to follow and subscribe immediately. But secondly, if you want to see the film, even if you're on TikTok, just hop over to YouTube, type in Cold Front Buffalo, and I'm live there, and you can watch film. You can do it on your mobile device, of course, but you can watch the film here with me. The clips that I have created when I was watching Bradley Chubb this morning. All right, first of all, like we said, Bradley Chubb, predominantly a 2-point stand-up position as a defensive edge outside linebacker and out of a 3-4 defense. The Miami Dolphins in many are running a 3-4 style defense, just like that of Jonathan Greener that we had showed film of in recent history. 3 down linemen, a nose, 2 tackles, and then 2 2-point guys standing up outside of them on the line of scrimmage that you can call them whatever you'd like, whether it's an edge or an outside linebacker. All right. Now, the second thing about Bradley Chubb, which is a great fit, is mostly these clips that I will be showing with you, I think there's maybe 1 out of 6 or 7 that he's on the Miami Dolphins left-hand side of the line of scrimmage. He's predominantly on the right-hand side. And our guy, Greg Russo, just so happens to like playing on the left side of the line of scrimmage. And he's had to be bounced back and forth with Joey Bosa and AJ Epinesa over the years. I think that this will allow him to sit where he likes to play more often because Bradley Chubb, it seems, either likes or has been playing for whatever reason on the right side of the line most often recently. Going to mark this to know where I left off. Okay, here we go. This is Drake May and the New England Patriots. There's Bradley Chubb on the right-hand side of the line. 3-4 defense. A little bit of motion. Want to stop there. This motion was actually put into play. There was 2 motion guys. One guy to kick out Bradley Chubb. The other guy to fake an end around behind Drake May. You see Bradley Chubb actually hop to his right to try to stop that gentleman in the event that that handoff had taken place. And his twitchiness, which I didn't even realize it was this twitchy until watching some film, allows him to get back into the play quite quickly. Swim move against this pulling tight end. This might have been, who's that, Austin Hooper maybe? I'm not sure. As you can see here comes the end down the line, supposedly to kick out Bradley Chubb. Bradley Cooper, isn't he an actor? And then you see that slot receiver faking the end around. Bradley Chubb does 2 very good things. He contains because he notices early diagnosis of that potential end around. So not even physical, but mental early diagnosis of the potential, for this end around. Contains, actually jumps with the slot receiver thinking he might have had the ball and was able to then recover with a strong swim, over the top, take down Drake May for a sack. That's strong, folks. That's strong. He gets really good extension with his arms when he jacks these, tight ends or tackles or guards. You'll see multiple examples here. But he's really strong. He's a speed to power guy. He's not really a leverage underneath guy as much as a Jonathan Greenard, for example. However, he's got the strength, and clearly he's got the mentals to understand. First of all, he jumps this ball snap as good as anybody else on the line. You can see he's already moving as the ball is being snapped when no one else on the defensive line was. So let me just come back here so we can show it again. Good swim move, good hands. Right after he makes that jump towards the end around, over the top, yeah. He had no chance, this tight end that was pulling. So that's number 1, and I like it. I like it out of Bradley Chubb. There's a lot of good there. We're going to keep it moving. Anybody has questions, again, please let them rip. However, you're not going to be able to see what I'm seeing unless you're over here on YouTube. So sorry for that. But either way, you got to follow along. Follow me on TikTok and then hop over to YouTube, because the more followers we get, the easier it'll be, I think, for me to get this key so you can also see the film on YouTube. They said 1,000 followers. We have that. We got to that point relatively quickly, and that didn't do it yet. So I don't know. Nobody I can talk to over there. Matt Milano is the GOAT says, I think we overpaid a little bit for Chubb, but I ain't upset with the signing. We could have overpaid a little bit, but we'll see. Other than his ACL, he's been really, really productive and strong in the last few years, other than, again, his injury. GD says, like, baloney. What? Appreciate the follow there, Sour Sports Card. GD, that was a silly question, sir. Okay, let's keep going. Next one, we're going to go down here and find, if I can find him. All right. This is against Daniel Jones and Indianapolis Colts relatively early on in the season. Actually, this might have been game 1, if I'm being honest. Bradley Chubb again. 3-4 defense. Well, actually, no. This is more of a nickel. When they went to their nickel defense, they had 4 linemen and 2 backers. Did the Miami Dolphins. Silly for not answering. You really want an answer? No, I don't. Maybe try to sign Bosa or Epinesa cheap. I think Epinesa stays. I don't think Bosa stays. Actually, I think there's rumblings now that Joey Bosa might be going to 49ers with his brother. But GD, yeah. Now you got your answer about baloney. Isn't that great? All right. So 4-2, nickel defense, 5 defensive backs. He's on the weak side, the right-hand side, shotgun. Just good hands, good motor, because keep in mind now, after he does this swim move and just launches this left tackle, he's got really good hands, strong hands, Bradley Chubb. Right there, he's being held. I mean, he was being held for 2 or 3 steps, and you can see the referee go into his pocket, pull out the laundry, let it fly. So that is a holding penalty after a strong swim move during his pass rush. Yeah, he just killed him. So he beat him with his hands. He got held. Then the tackle fell to his knees. He still completed the sack. Got the holding penalty. I mean, that's strong, boys. That is strong. And he's got a high motor for continuing to go. How many edge rushers in the NFL today, when they get about there, when they feel that they're being held, they just put their hands up in the air and they start, shuffling sideways, trying to get the penalty flag, right? Trying harder to get the penalty flag than complete the play and sack the quarterback, which happens entirely way too often, in my opinion, in the NFL. Well, not Bradley Chubb, not in this instance at least. He knows he's getting held. He's still trying to get after the quarterback. And while he was being brought down to the ground is when he sacked Daniel Jones. So I got to give him a lot of credit on this play. And I found this very interesting watching this just this morning. Actually, pretty quick feet too. Pretty quick, choppy feet. Watch those feet right off the get. Yeah. Good footwork, really good hands, strong, being held, I love that. Love that for Bradley Chubb, and I love that for the Buffalo Bills here shortly. Because before you know it, it will be time to play football. Actually, I shouldn't say it. For me, it's going to take forever because I'm so excited. I want to get into it right now. You know what I mean? Motor side. Let's see. Who's this now? Okay, back to the New England Patriots. This is the same exact play that we saw. I'm sorry, I did this opposite here. Oh, no. I'm sorry, different play. All right, again, I'm going to show both angles here. This is a sideline angle of a different Bradley Chubb against the Patriots play. This is more of the 4-2 because they have a nickel. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. So they're in a nickel coverage. Looks to be single high, but we don't know. I don't know what the defensive backs do, and that's okay because I want more so we're focusing on Bradley Chubb, of course, and seeing what he does. Now, if you'll notice, the Miami Dolphins kind of send the house here. Cornerback, he's on a little stunt. Okay, watch this. He is on the 47-yard line. After this pressure gets to Drake May, and he dumps the ball off to his running back. I don't know if that's Henderson. I can't tell which one. It doesn't quite matter. As soon as that ball is caught by this running back, he's on their own 48. All right. Bradley Chubb is equivalent as far as the yard marker goes. He's on the 40, maybe the 47. The ball is caught on the 48, 10, 15 yards wide from Bradley Chubb, who's in the middle of the line right now. He didn't get after Drake May. That ball is caught, and Bradley Chubb, watch what he does. We're going to count these together. Bradley Chubb ends up making that tackle 25 or so yards downfield. So if we're ever going to question the energy in the motor, this is almost like Michael Hoyt style motor. When that ball is caught, he's on the 48. So we're going to count off the 5 yards. 5, 10, 15, 20 yards from when that ball was caught to when Bradley Chubb ended up chasing down the receiver, the running back, and take him to the ground. The effort in the motor is ridiculous. The effort in the motor is absolutely ridiculous from Bradley Chubb, and I see it in almost every film, every piece of film that I've watched. GD, not happy about the answer? Is that what it is, brother? Darrell, did you purposely invite me as a guest? I'm sorry. No, I did not. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get to all these comments, and sometimes things pop up, and I don't even know what the hell I did. So that's probably what I did. My fault. Sorry about that. Sorry. Like right there, what did I do? I clicked something and it wanted me to type in a response. Now we're going to watch that same play from the end zone view. All right, same play. There he is. This is what I was talking about. This is a 4-2. See 29 on the right side? That's a D-back. So it's 4-2, which is kind of their base defense. Let's keep it rolling. This is what the Miami Dolphins sent. They sent a weak side linebacker blitz. They also sent a corner blitz, which are both on Bradley Chubb's side because he usually, most of these times, these examples that we're showing, he's been on the weak side. Therefore, you got 3 guys against 2, or you could say 4 guys against 2 almost. 4 guys against 3 if the center shifts over. So a man is untouched, no doubt. Doesn't happen to be Bradley Chubb, but there is absolutely a man that's untouched. And here he comes. All right, Drake May's about to get his head taken off, dumps the ball to the receiver. Bradley Chubb is now right on the Miami Dolphins logo, and we're going to stop this. I'm going to tell you how many people are within reach of him at the moment that the ball is caught. 1, 2 at the bottom, 3 right next to him, and then there's actually 4 right behind him. So there's 4 Miami Dolphins plus Bradley Chubb when this running back catches the ball within 5-6 yards of Bradley Chubb. None of them get anywhere close to this receiver, and he tracks them down. So that man's not giving up like the rest of his football team just did, as you can clearly see. Okay? The motor's insane. The desire to finish the play is there. I'm loving this. I'm loving this out of Bradley Chubb and for the Miami, or for the Buffalo Bills. 100%. And if you don't, I don't know, something's up with you. Something's up with you. What a freaking motor. Not to mention that there's 3 or 4 other, defensive backs right next to him when he makes that tackle that didn't care at all to be a part of that play. I hate seeing that. I cannot stand that. Playing over until it's over. Get the ball carrier down. Bradley Chubb. Let's get in some of these comments here before we continue. Darrell says, I don't have a problem coming up and talking ball, but you can play. Hey, man, that'd be awesome. I'd love to have you on here. Again, I can't do what I really want to do yet on the TikTok thing until they give me the screen key is what I need, but it's not there yet. So at some point, right? Let's get back in here. Okay. Spin says, just hope Leonard can get this defensive cohesive before the playoffs. Yeah, for sure. It's going to take some time, right? Nothing comes overnight. Michael says, did you hear Josh Allen got arrested? Highly doubt that. Matchhead, are these garbage time throwaway sacks or were these legit? No. These were not garbage time throwaway sacks. The first sack against Daniel Jones was in early game. And I think it was week 1. It was week 1. Then the Patriots were week 2, I believe. I don't know exactly the time in the game. I can't remember when the Patriots sack was. But that motor play that we just showed, if that was in garbage time, I'd love it even better, to be honest with you. Resign Matt Prater. Maybe he'll stick around, but they did resign Tyler Bass. Chubb consistently gets 8 to 11 sacks when healthy, yes. Which even last year, right, his 8.5 or right, it was 8.5 or 9 sacks would have beat or led the Bills. Would have led the Bills. And then 24, he had his ACL. And then 23, he had 10.5 or 11 sacks. So he had about 20 sacks the last 2 seasons that he played. Yes, that is correct. 9 last year. Okay. Also, he was now full season removed from his ACL. Correct. Re-signed Franklin. Sam Franklin, is that who you're speaking of? Because pretty sure they just did. I believe that he just was signed to a deal last today's what, Saturday, the beginning of this week, I believe. Right? 3-year deal. Yep, extension, 3 years. $7 million. Sam Franklin is a Buffalo Bill. No bones. What's up, buddy? Is there still movement that can be made to fit in a nose tackle and offensive guard for free agency, or do we need what's left? I know you're currently over the cap for draft picks. What's left for? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. No, I think there's still some room. I do, because I think that some money will be maneuvered, and we don't know about Deion Dawkins. He's not been restructured yet, which is weird. Weird to me. Maybe they don't want the long term with Deion. Maybe Deion's, I don't know, just weird. I still think we need to go get DJ Reader, though. How about re-sign Justin Jefferson? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Re-sign him to the Bills, yeah. I heard that Joey Bosa will be going to San Francisco. Don't know, but Polo the Great. How are you, Polo the Great? So are we going to go linebacker in the draft? I actually think that we will, yes, to be honest with you. At this moment in time, it seems as if Shaq Thompson, Matt Milano will probably re-sign or stay, and then they might go linebacker in the draft. That's kind of where my mind is. Move on from Mika O. Oh, Milano. I don't know, though. They need something if they're going to move on from these guys. I just did a mock draft, and Mekhi Lemon fell. Oh boy, yeah. I think he's losing draft stock. I think he's lost a lot of draft stock, to be honest with you. From his interview and that possessed look that he gave to a pro day that he just did that looked like he was running like Bigfoot, like it just did not look smooth or athletic. I think things are dropping for him, unfortunately, and I don't know that I would take a flyer. Now, friend of ours on the channel, Dexy Gaming, did a mock last night where Dylan Thieneman fell to 26. That is not a flyer at all. That's, to me, the biggest lock that you could possibly get if he falls to 26, because they said that Minnesota went with, who was it? Another safety out of somewhere else. I don't know how the hell you pass on Thieneman, but that's what they say. 21. How often do you go live stream? We've been almost every day this week. Go to Spot Track, resign players. Spot tracking, resign some players. Yeah, I wish I could just sign them myself. Go get more players, more safety, running backs. We don't need running backs. Don't need a quarterback for sure. That's for dang sure. Considering what was available in this free agency pool, I think Bean's done very well. I totally agree with you. I'm thrilled with what's happened overall. And it's taken me a little while to step back and get off of the, okay, we didn't make the huge free agent signing splash. But when I look at these guys and we do film like this, I'm kind of like, you know what? These boys are real. These boys are real, and these are players. These are ballers, and I think they're dogs, and I think that it's going to work out fantastic. Am I crazy for wanting KC over Lemon? No, not at all. No. I'm with you. Mekhi Lemon's crazy eyes has GM spooked. I actually think that's part of it. And I'm being dead serious, because the guy just looked like and spoke like a maniac. Let's be real. He literally did. Who are the CBs that blew it in the playoffs? Trey, Dane Jackson, am I forgetting? No, it was Darnell Savage and Dane Jackson. It wasn't Trey. Savage and Jackson went in for like 3 plays each, and they gave up 2 touchdowns against the men that they were covering, like immediately, twice. I agree. We do need cornerback. We need another depth, but Trey's not the issue. Since week 6, Trey White was, I think, top 8 in the NFL with passer rating against and completions against. Like, they just didn't throw the ball in his direction, which is all you can ask for as a cornerback, right? You just shut down your side, your fourth, your third, whatever it is, of the field, and you can't ask for more than that. Savage is gone. Cam Lewis is gone. Kind of sucks, but Gardner Johnson, and we'll get into maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do oh my goodness. The safety that we just signed. Some film of him to show that I don't think it's nearly as bad as a lot of people would say that it is. And the issues were those two guys predominantly, and I'm being dead serious. I really, really think that I don't even know why they were there. I don't know if the guys were gassed. I really can't tell you, but it was very frustrating to watch depth guys get in the most important moments and to just completely get torched and blow it for deep touchdowns, not mind you. And the one against Savage, Bo Nix, I feel like, was literally running backwards and just completely launched the ball straight up into the air and said, "Here you go. Here you go." I don't know. Geno Stone. My gosh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I literally just forgot. So maybe we'll do some film on these guys too. Ethan says, I've been listening the whole time. Just forgot to say something in the chat. Hope you're doing today. Doing well, my brother. Absolutely. Doing well. Hope you are good also. So if you've been here, you've seen some of the film. We're going to get right back into it. Just want to make sure we get all these Jigs now says the exact same thing. What are your thoughts on belonging? Like, what are we doing in here? Why are you guys asking me that question? That's weird. You're weird. Did the Bill Art Kenny says I need 10 sacks out of him. I think it's possible 100%. Art Kenny also says, be good, do good. Let's go, Bills. Amen. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, don't worry about it. Darrell, that's just a silly comment. No, Bills have not signed anybody yet today. Mafia says I want to get Deebo Samuel. I'm against it because for $15 million a year, I'd much rather have gotten a legitimate linebacker or corner. So I don't know that we go and do that. There's rumors we can get L'Jarius Sneed from the yes, and I'm down with that. Perimeter, yes, perimeter cornerback as well. We need that. We absolutely do as long as he stays healthy. But I still think he'd be sort of depth piece with Benford, Hairston, Trey White if we can bring him back, of course, and then Sneed. Yeah, I know. I heard that brokenhearted. We almost had Mike Evans, and that's what you read. He said they were a contender. Was it the money? Maybe. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Stone, Brokenheart said Stone led the league in missed tackles. Why did we sign him? Well, because he had 103 tackles, and he's had, I think, 10 or 12 interceptions the last 3 or 4 years. And I don't think he's going to be the 80% of the snap guy, of the snaps, because of Gardner Johnson and Cole Bishop, but he'll be out there as a good depth. He's pretty good ball hawk too. Matt Chatter, Savage sucked. I know. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. That was a bad sign. It was a necessary sign because we didn't have anybody, but he was not good. Resign. That's why we can resign Trey for cheap. Don't thrust your helmet, bro. I think we can sign Trey. That helmet's definitely broken. I don't mind what he did, but that helmet's definitely broken. Yeah, I saw Dane go in for his first play. And I know. And Savage, the same deal. Literally, same deal by Savage. We have no depth. Depth kills us late, yes. And I think that we can solve that by a lot of these signings actually that we're doing. I think that we're headed in the right direction. I really, truly do. We need pressure. Yes, we do. Let's get or draft another wide receiver. That doesn't help with pressure, though, does it? Hey, Joey, how are you? Appreciate the follow, Joey. All right, let's get back into it. Some more Bradley Chubb. Where are we gonna go here? Double pass. We did motor side. All right, a couple from. We're gonna get a couple more here from the Bills. The Bills game, unfortunately. Okay, this is against Miami. He is again on the right side of the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3. This is your 3-4 style defense. There's 3 interior backer, or actually, well, it depends on what 20 is there, but it looks predominantly 3-4 to me. But he's stand up, pushes Deion Dawkins backwards 2-3 steps, just has his absolute way against Deion Dawkins. Left hand. Now I'm going to stop this, I think. I think I stopped the film here. Let's get back to it. Let's see if I stop it. Yes, I do. Look at that. Deion Dawkins takes both of his hands, shoves them into his face mask. How this wasn't a penalty, I really don't know. But Bradley Chubb absorbs 2 hands to his chin, literally face mask, probably poked his eyes out. Deion Dawkins did, right out of his freaking head. And he continues. You can see he has a left arm extended. His right arm is about to either swap or pull under or over, but his left arm is extended in Deion Dawkins' left shoulder area. And even though his face is turned to where he can't see anything because Deion Dawkins punched him right in his teeth, he still manages to set Deion Dawkins back a couple of feet. You can see his momentum coming down. He's going to push Deion Dawkins back here towards the quarterback, throws with his left arm, swings with his right to then loop around Deion Dawkins on the north side, as you see right there. Deion Dawkins just got launched, and then he does a kangaroo jump onto Josh Allen's back and sacks Josh Allen. We probably all remember this game. It was very frustrating to watch. I will tell you, someone asked this question earlier, if they're garbage time sacks. This sack right here is with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter when they're up 20 points. This is the time where defenses, we want the pressure, right? They call it closing games out. The defensive line needs to close the game out. Fourth quarter, pin your ears back. You know they're throwing the football. Get after them. You can see with this still shot right here, almost nobody's open with the exception of Keon Coleman if he continues to run this flag pattern or this corner route. But Josh Allen already has Bradley Chubb sitting on his back, so it's too late. He absolutely manhandled Deion Dawkins here. Let's watch it again. This is 3-4 defense. Come on. Here we go. No, thank you. Literally, watch Deion Dawkins, boys. He almost falls over. The left hand by Bradley Chubb. And it doesn't look like he's trying all that much, Bradley Chubb, to be honest with you. But he's so damn strong that Deion Dawkins gets pushed back and he kind of has to do a little skip because he was losing his balance on his left foot. Watch Deion Dawkins' left foot when he gets chucked with the left hand of Bradley Chubb. This gets excited. Really gets me excited. Oh, yep, hop, skip, and a jump there on his left foot. And then he just, one of those flying monkeys from tree to tree. That's what he did. He just kind of dove on Josh Allen's back. Thankfully, Josh Allen didn't get hurt, but he says, Deion Dawkins, who? Get off me. It's a great play. This is a Buffalo Bill, folks. This is now a Buffalo Bill. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. We're going through what? 7 clips or so here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 total. That is a great freaking play. Was that this play here? I don't think it was. No. Oh, this is I think a run scenario. So here we have more of a 4-2 because it looks like they have nickel again, the Miami Dolphins. Again, though, Bradley Chubb, right side of the line, 2-point stance, weak side of the line. We got motion out of, looks like Khalil here. And let's see what he does to Deion Dawkins again. Just ate his freaking lunch. This was earlier in the game. This is a run stuff. Instead of going outside, his initial jab step like he was going to round the edge, right, and give him that left hand again to the right shoulder of Deion like he was rushing the passer. Just a jab step to his right. Quick jab step to his right there. Deion's already now falling to his left because it's Bradley Chubb's right there. And he just straight up hands. He beats Deion to the inside. And Deion gets nowhere close to even touching him. He could have had James Cook to a -2. He misses the original tackle. And then continues on in the play, grabs James Cook's feet and brings him down. There's the miss, and there's the bring down. But again, the main thing to me, although I'd love to see that play be a 3-yard loss, is how easily it was for him to bait Deion Dawkins throughout a game into thinking he's going to Deion Dawkins' left, and just a little quick jab step, again, out of a guy that is not necessarily twitchy. He's more of a speed to strength, not the bendy contortionist around the edge. For a guy that's labeled as that, his feet are very good, and his hands are strong and quick as well. All right. I'm saying that I have not seen this from a Bills edge in some time, maybe since Von Miller was healthy, very healthy. I'm happy about this, boys. We're not done. We got some more. But I'm happy, and I'm showing you evidence to why I feel that you should be happy as well. And let me know what you think. I think it was Dexy that told us, yes, this is who he wanted. I think there was a few votes. This is who people wanted to see the film from. So I'm glad we're doing this. Let me know who you want next from our agents. But I'm glad I did this even for myself, to be honest with you. I love film. You guys all know that I'm a big film guy. So, Chubb Motor J17. There's another motor play against the Bills. He had a good game against the Bills. We all know that. Chubb. Right side now. His right. Same. Right? Same thing. Josh Allen drops back. He gets double teamed. Nowhere to go. Josh Allen rolls to his right, and here he goes. From the opposite hash, Bradley Chubb outruns his tackles, of course, and gets after the quarterback. He runs from the opposite hash, clear to the other sideline, and pushes Josh Allen out of bounds. We're going to show this now from the end zone view. Same play. He's right over Deion Dawkins. Now Edwards. Now Osiris Torrance. And he pushes Josh Allen, gets his hands on him before Josh Allen gets to the out of bounds to the boundary. Okay, this is strong. This is strong. Again, effort and motor until the end, and talent and skill, without question. This is a pretty emotional play because people thought that he pushed Josh Allen out of bounds, but as you can see right here, the contact was made clearly inbounds. And Josh Allen just flew all the way to that Gatorade, basically. See that Gatorade jug over there? I mean, I hate to see that as people get hurt, but he didn't, so I can chuckle at it. But again, another motor move out of Bradley Chubb. So high motor, what have we seen and talked about so far? High motor, without question. Finishing plays, without question. Does not give up, without question. Quick feet for a guy so strong. Really quick feet. Extremely strong hands. Generally the power move. Haven't really seen a finesse sack. But strong speed to power. Doesn't give up. And then we're going to close it here with this. Close the film with this. That's what we've seen so far. And this is what I did not like out of Joey Bosa but you can see this more than once when you watch film on Bradley Chubb. Now, Bradley Chubb is now on the left-hand side because he's predominantly the weak side edge. Pretty much where he ends up, but he likes the right side as well. So this is against the Bills. You see Jackson Hawes about to come in motion here. Jackson Hawes is labeled as one of, if not the best. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Okay, good to see you, JW 300, 3000. UVA or Duke, not sure, to be honest with you. Geno Stone sucks, Zach Woodrum said. Disagree with the word Geno. He sucks. He's a lot better than sucks. Good defense keeps offense on the field, and I truly think Brady implemented that this year so far. Absolutely. CJ Allen or T? What does T mean, brokenhearted? All right. 1, 2, 3 down linemen, 2 upright edge rushers, outside linebackers. What does that mean? 3-4 defense, folks. 3-4 defense, like we keep saying, his experience in the 3-4 is high as anybody. Okay. Two tight end. This is what I'm trying to allude to with these lines. 2 tight end. They're in a 22 personnel. Did you see what Jackson Hawes was able to accomplish there? Just about nothing is the point. That's the answer. Jackson Hawes steps up as one of the best blocking tight ends in NFL, which has been apparent for the entire year of 2025. And Bradley Chubb stuffs him. Does his contain, gets his leverage right here. Look how low he is. He's holding his edge. He knew what was coming. Again, I think this guy's a high IQ. It's high IQ. He knows what's coming. He doesn't give up because he knows it's a run. He doesn't over-leverage and go outside. He doesn't rip down the line of scrimmage and allow the bounce out. He holds firm in his place, does his duty. He knows he's got 20 coming behind him to fill that gap. He can't fill the gap and seal the edge at the same time. It's impossible for one person to do. So he does his job. His 111th, right? Talk about that a lot. I do as well. He does his 111. Michael Hoyt does this as well. Sticks to his job. Seals the edge. Will not allow him to bounce out, but also does not collapse. And certainly does not get kicked out like the intention of this Jackson Hawes motion to kick him the hell out of here to allow a lane for James Cook to find. So as we go through this, yep, there's Chubb holding firm. James Cook grabbing the handoff. They got this linebacker filling the gap. Reggie Gilliam is trying to blow him out. And because, quite honestly, both of them do a good job, but because Bradley Chubb does not go too far outside and allow the C gap to open up right here, which is what I'm showing, or crashing down too much, coming underneath, and then allowing James Cook to see that vision-wise and bounce it outside, probably for a 20-plus yard gain. He sticks, lowers his center of gravity. James Cook then has to bounce inside, and they pick up a yard or two. That's a positive play. I know he doesn't make this tackle. I know he doesn't sack Josh Allen in this play. He just does what he's supposed to do. He just steps up. He sees what's coming. He lowers his shoulder, eats the contact from Jackson Hawes, forces that back inside where there's nothing, where there's more contained from the linebackers coming downhill and pinching everything in the middle. It was a great job. Great job. So I wanted to show everybody this for Bradley Chubb as well, because it's not just, when I'm looking at film, I'm not just looking at, the highlight sacks. Of course, I'm looking at them, but I'm not looking at, I'd love for my edge guy to be good against the run as well, which Greg Russo is. So to pair him with Greg Russo, I think we're cooking with fire here, boys. I really do. And to show things that he can help everyone else, even though he's not potentially making a highlight. That's all. Do your job, do it consistently, do it well, and then show some signs of some well above average potential. That's what we have. That's what we have here out of Bradley Chubb. Much as you want to say he's old and washed and all this other shit, which a lot of people have said, I don't buy it. I'm not in that circle. I am in he's got game left, and he's going to show up and make some shit happen for the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo defense is soft as Charmin. JW3000. We'll see. Who are you a fan of, by the way, JW3000? That's the question. That is the question, JW3000. If the Bills defense is soft as Charmin, you tell me what you feel. Oh, I don't think they're going to go. I actually don't think that the Bills go linebacker with the first pick, period, if I'm being honest, because I think there's enough depth to get later, like a Jacob Rodriguez later on. And there's a very strong potential that the Buffalo Bills actually trade down, get rid of their first-round pick. He's a 49ers fan. Okay. Got it. I'm pretty sure the last time, well, let's see. Let's see. The last time the Bills played the 49ers, I'm pretty sure the Bills defense held the 49ers to 10 freaking points. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 35-10. Yep, that's what it was. So that soft-ass defense held Brock Purdy to 94 yards. It's a hell of a day. It's a hell of a day. Can't lie. Can't lie. You know what I'm saying? Good for you. That soft-ass defense held the 49ers to 239 total yards and 10 points. 94 pass yards. Just saying. Just saying there. Did you leave JW3000? You must have left. You must have left, my brother. Appreciate you coming in. JW3000. Did you follow yet? Because if you haven't, please do. Appreciate you, man. We knew Dane blows. The Panthers just cut him at the time. Yeah, well, right. And then we were kind of, the Bills were kind of desperation mode there at the end. Blue Wave says, think any of our free agents come back, goodness gracious, on cheap deals. Yeah, Trey White and Brandon Cooks. I think both of them do. Matty Milano might even, the fact that the Boses of the world and the Milanos and the Shaq Thompsons have not signed anywhere else tells me that they obviously have not created a massive market for themselves. Therefore, I do think that there's a potential that any of them come back and they would be team-friendly deals. But what I would like to see is Trey White and Brandon Cooks, and hell, at this point, depending on if they have anything up their sleeve, but the bigger free agent linebacker names have pretty much all gone. Let's just take Shaq and Milano, get them back for cheap, and start getting to work. You know what I'm saying? Start getting to work. To who said it? Was it No Bones or was it Spin? Let's start getting the understanding of how these schemes are going to work for us. Get together, talk, watch film. Get ready for this 3-4 defense. Polo says, yeah, Chubb gives that explosiveness that our D-line does not have. I'm so with it. I'm so in agreement with you that it's unbelievable, especially after watching film. JTL says, same. He's still young. Yeah, Bradley Chubb. Yes, he is. JTL says, our D is stacked. Hey, man, I am thrilled, and I hope you guys enjoyed this film out of Bradley Chubb. I hope you like the film, period. To me, it's super exciting, and the film doesn't lie when you are able to watch this and on replay and over. It just, deficiencies will stick out. Positives and strengths will also stick out. And it's really beneficial in my mind to be watching film on somebody, because I watch, a couple hundred snaps. And when things pop out, that's when I watch it again. And then if I want to watch it a third time, then I just clip it. Then I just screenshot it and then I bring it to you guys, because that's how I look at things when I'm trying to get my understanding of a player. And I hope that you enjoy this as well. And this was a fan pick. This was a subscriber pick, Bradley Chubb film. And that was yesterday. That was last night, actually kind of late. You guys decided Bradley Chubb, and that's who we went with. If you want somebody else, please let me know. Let me know now. If you're not followed or subscribed, do both of those immediately, please. And I appreciate you very much. We're still gaining some massive ground here, and we want to keep it going on this channel. Part of which is film, for sure. Part of which is film. I think that helps a lot. That's kind of like our niche. And then we do our best to stay in conversation with everybody clearly. Somebody said the other day, once we get to a certain point, it's going to be impossible. And I don't, maybe, but I don't. It is what it is, you know. I'll do my best always. Blue Wave says, Bills have a tough schedule. Yes. Is this going to be a transition year with new coaching staff? Well, no, it can't be. I mean, it might. Listen, if they do poorly or they start slow out the gate, they're going to say, this is a transition year. But these signings, these free agent signings tell me it's not a transition year. I mean, these are one-year deals. And, if the Buffalo Bills are just bridging the gap to 2027 with one-year deals, if that's the reasoning, then I'm going to be pissed the hell off. But I don't think that it is. And I think these players are going to come to play. I think we got ballers. And I think that there's no reason that they should not be at least above where they were. They're a better team today than they were 2 weeks ago. Put it that way. I have no question in my mind. I'm so confident in saying that. You know what I mean? But the schedule is tough. That is also, you can not deny that. The Lead G, what up, man? Great to see you. You too, brother. Really like to see the signings we have made in free agency. I think our first pick is going to try to be linebacker. Let's get one of the big three this year and resign some depth. Well, I actually disagree. I don't think they're going to go after linebacker with a first-round pick, although of course, I could be wrong. I just don't see it because I think there's some linebacker depth deeper in the draft. Who are your big three, though? Let's start there. Who are your big three for linebacker? Because the top, I think there's one, possibly two that might even go right before 26. So then it would probably lead you to CJ Allen. But let me know who are your top three first. I'm so excited to see this team improve everyone wrong. To see this. Well, so I guess who are we proving wrong, I guess? You know, I mean, I'm with you. I like proving people wrong myself, but I think the Bills have had a lot of, I mean, over the years, the Bills have obviously been questioned, and that is for sure. But I don't know that they really have been underdogs either, you know. And right now they've made enough moves between coaching staff and personnel that something better change, right? You don't do all that if you are not trying to improve yourselves. You just don't completely upset the apple cart from coaching, like the entire coaching staff, and this many new numbers on the roster if you're not trying to make a positive impact and quickly, in my mind. This thief means one. What? Dang, autocorrect. Thieneman. Oh, hell yeah. Trade up for Sonny Styles. Yeah, trade up to what? Pick 4? Cost you a lot. But Thieneman, safety. So, not linebacker. Thieneman, hell yes. Hell yes. If he's available and he doesn't get picked, tears from Cold Front. 100%. I'm going to be crying. Paul the Great, honestly can't wait to see Max develop into our CB1. He's a stud. He is. He's a stud. And he's got a lot of room to grow without question. And I'm here for it. Like I'm excited. I truly am. I am excited to watch him develop into something crazy. No, all good, Lee G. Yeah, no worries. But as far as the player, I am 100% on your side. Like, I agree with you 100%. He is a game changer, in my opinion, and I think he's going to be an all-pro. And if he's with Cole Bishop, forget about it. I think it's insanity at that point. Insanity what this team can do. So we'll see, though, right? We'll see. We're going to be looking out for what's going on in the world of the Buffalo Bills, of course, and any extra moves that might be made or happen here shortly. If there are any, we're going to stay on top of it for sure. Big Dog, what's up? Only if Benford was faster, he could be a top 3 corner. Yeah, but you know what? In my opinion, to me, what I want my corners to do is shut people down. And Benford does just that, whether it's his anticipation or his footwork or his strength, which overcompensates some for his speed, of course. He still does not get torched at the level that you might think would happen because of his lack of, top end 4.2 speed that Maxwell Harrison has, which he put that on full display against the Chiefs this year. Running, stride for stride with Xavier Worthy. So speed is important, but it's not everything. I think it's a positive, obviously, if you're looking for like the 5-tool guy, but for sure it's important. And yeah, he really probably would be. Big Dog says, are you going to any games this year? Absolutely. Absolutely will be up there. 100%. What about you? Lee G says, what do you think are some options at our pick or any worth trading up just a bit for at linebacker? I mean, I like CJ Allen. I do. I think he's a viable option, but I'd rather wait till like the 3rd even almost for Jacob Rodriguez. I think if they trade up, it'd be for Thieneman. I think that Minnesota Vikings, I always thought up until yesterday when a couple guys said they're doing mock drafts, and one of them said that Minnesota, AI at least, had Minnesota passing on Thieneman, and he landed, or he lasted until the 26th pick, which was insane to me. Right now, I would trade up for him, depending on what it entails, of course. I think you can get Casey Concepcion. I think you take him if you can get him, for sure. I know Denzel Boston is a name that's been thrown out there for a first-round pick. I'm not as big on Denzel Boston. I think he's similar to that of a Keon Coleman. Again, not a bad thing. I love Keon Coleman, but I don't know what he would necessarily do for the Buffalo Bills. I would trade up for Thieneman, and that's about it right now because it wouldn't be too much of a trade, and I think it's viable. Now, we could say, trade up for Sonny Styles. We could say trade up for, one of these edge rushers, Bain or something like, yeah, of course, that would be fantastic. But what are you giving up, A? And I don't think you have enough to do that. And you need depth. So if you do that, you're going to be trading a lot of capital, right? And you can't really afford to lose that many more draft picks in my mind. So I don't know that I would do that unless it was an edge guy or corner. But it's not really all that deep right now. I mean, the deep is edge, and there are quite a few linebackers. This was kind of a weak draft this year. It seems like it's kind of a weak draft. We'll see how they end up. Going to Vegas game and might go to San Fran. Big Dog says, nice. Now I have to refresh myself. Do you mean that you're going to a game in Las Vegas? I think that's what you mean, right? Big Dog, are you from out that way? Are you in the West Coast? Because I don't think that the Bills play the Niners. They do play the Raiders, but I think that's in. Yeah, it is. I'm just pulling it up here. It is in Las Vegas. BG, only issue I have is Boston is kind of slow and Casey has poor catching. That's as far as I've heard. Yeah, Boston is that type of, he's more of a possession guy, strength, big body. I think KC has decent hands, to be honest with you, from what I've seen. All right. I'm not saying that he's phenomenal, but he's smooth, man. He is freaking smooth, and I like his personality. That might be too much to say I like somebody's personality, but as prior to drafting him, but I do. And I think I think he's very Billsy, KC Concepcion. Yes, I am in Cali. Okay, gotcha. Oh, good for you. But I'm pretty sure you're a Bills fan, are you not, Big Dog? I'm pretty sure you are. I thought you said that at one point. I mean, let's pull this up, boys, while we're on the topic. There we go. While we are on this topic, we don't have the schedule, of course, but we have the opponents. So home, of course, the Miami Dolphins, Patriots, and the New York Jets. We also play the Chiefs at home, the Ravens, the Lions, the Bears, and the Chargers. That is a shitty freaking schedule. But we're not done yet. Broncos, Texans, Vikings, Raiders, Packers, and Rams on the road. Like, that's going to be the worst schedule in the NFL. It is. I don't see a schedule getting tougher than that. Do you? With the exception of the Dolphins and maybe the Jets. You're talking the Chiefs. Well, that might even be one of the easier games. The Chiefs might be the easy game. Ravens are going to be good. Lions are going to be better than last year, you have to assume. Bears are a good team, although they've kind of lost some people and shuffled around. Chargers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, did they not rebuild their offensive line? Or they got another couple key pieces at least? Obviously, the Patriots twice. The Broncos, AFC Championship team. The Texans, who were a quarterback away from being in the Super Bowl. The Vikings, kind of a hot mess. I'd love to have Jonathan Greener play against. The Raiders, what have they done in the offseason? A ton. And they have they have Linderbaum, right? Yeah, they have Linderbaum. I was thinking it was David Edwards, but it's not. Green Bay Packers, great football team, very good football team. And then the Rams, who are heavy favorites, and they have the entire Kansas City Chiefs secondary next year. Facetious, but pretty freaking close. I don't know. KC to me is going to be a lot weaker. It's fine. Totally fine to, agree to disagree. Totally fine. And Baltimore is transitioning after a bad season where Lamar didn't look great. Yeah, and he was hurt and he was banged up. Remember, he missed a lot of time like there in the middle of the year. He did. Broncos did lose a lot of people and signed almost nobody. This is true with the quarterback coming. And I'm kind of curious as to why they did this, but you're absolutely right. But Big Dog's a San Francisco fan. Okay, well, you guys, what an offseason. What an offseason. I'm sorry. I thought you said that. I thought you were a Bills fan. Snazzy boy, haven't been in since Tuesday. I think okay. Yeah, no problem. What's your take on Bradley Chubb? Well, we just went through a film session on Bradley Chubb and super thrilled, if I'm being honest. Super thrilled. He brings a lot to the table. I label Bradley Chubb as high motor, strong-willed, gritty, strong hands, and actually surprisingly quick feet. I think he's going to have, I'll say 9 sacks with 50 tackles. But I think that opens up Groot to also have 9 or 10 or 11 sacks. I think they both, between the two of them, actually, I think we got 20. I have 20 sacks between the two of those guys. Michael Hoyt's going to give you a handful. Deion Walker's going to give you a couple. Right? I'm sorry. Eddie freaking Oliver's going to give you 6 or 7. And then, of course, you'll have your cornerback sacks and your linebackers. And, I think we're going to get after the quarterback, people. I just do. And I think Bradley Chubb's going to be a big part of it. Houston, though, sucks. That's going to be a tough game. Hell yeah, I hate Houston. That's what I'm saying. They were just a halfway decent quarterback away from going to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was that bad. He was that bad, and their defense was that freaking good. And Lion looked like they fell off bad. Yes. What sucks is because this last year, tons of good teams had down years. Is going to make a really unfair schedule for a lot of teams if they go back to form. You're absolutely correct with the shift in the divisions and things that we play. If these teams come back a notch, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Rams are, but even so, the few teams that had an off year who we now play next year, because most of them had very good years and are going to be good again. But the few teams that had off years, you would think will not be that same sluggish product on the football field again. I am so in agreement with you there. And that's kind of frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. Well, I appreciate everybody. I think that's going to do it for me right now. We might get on back later tonight. If anyone has any input as to anyone else that you would like to see some film for, and if you like this film, please make me aware if you like seeing the breakdown. Therefore, we'll continue to do it. And either shoot me a message, comment here, or something along the lines of who you would like to see next. Is it Gardner Johnson? Is it D. Alford? Is it DJ Moore? We can break down some DJ Moore stuff. Anybody on the team? One of our free agents with that are in void years. The Milanos maybe, or the Shaq Thompsons. Whatever you would like to see, please let me know. I'm curious as well. I'd love to watch film, and we'll break it down. We'll break him down, whoever that may be. I appreciate everybody hanging out. If you did not get the memo, please subscribe to the channel immediately and follow along on TikTok. I really appreciate all of your support along the way. It's been a good first couple of months here, but we have a long way to go. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube prior to the start of next season. I think we're at close to 300. So let's get there, right? We got some work to do, but we can get there. And my understanding is that a friend of ours, Ethan, says once you get to 500, it then really starts to kind of run for you, start to take off a bit. So let's keep it rolling. I appreciate all the support. Love every single one of you. Let me make sure I get this last thing. Could you do breakdown on Deion Walker's rookie season? Absolutely. Does anyone else second Deion Walker? That would be fun. Deion Walker's a dog, folks. Let me tell you. Deion Walker didn't even get the credit that he deserved, in my opinion. I think he's better than people think. Matt Giancola, how are you, Matt? Assuming Groot will get to 11 is optimistic. I hope you're right, but he hasn't shown that abundance. No, I think that the defense in itself will open him up and everybody up because we have a bunch of options now, and the aggressive style of the 3-4 and the aggressive nature of Jim Leonard and what he has already come out saying what he would want to see or want this defense to do. Now, Matt, I will also tell you that I kind of backed up when I said that 9, 10, 11 number, and then I think that just between the two of them, and I don't know how this will break down, but I think that between the two of them, I'm more confident that they'll get to 20 than Groot getting to 11. Although Groot at some point has got to be that guy, right? You would think. Now I'm just thinking out loud. I don't need Groot to have 10 or 11 or 12 sacks because of how good he is on defense against the run. But Chubb is showing that he can do the same there. So I don't know. Between everybody, Oliver and Hoyt and Walker, and oh my God, just think about this. Walker, we still need a space saver, right? Or a space eater as a nose tackle. But Walker, Oliver, Michael Hoyt, Groot, Chubb, and then you'd have to go with like Thompson, Milano, or Williams, Thompson, or Williams, Milano, or Andreessen, some grouping of those. And then Hairston, Benford, Gardner Johnson, and obviously Cole Bishop. That's insane, folks. That's insane. I'm sorry. That is freaking nuts. Walker Polo says, I would agree. I would like to see that. Okay, so we'll do Deion Walker, unless 1,000 people come in here and say something different. Lee G, 100% agree with that take. Almost every tackle for loss was from that guy. Who are you talking about? Hoyt or Russo? I'm not sure who you're talking about. But Greg Rousseau is a top 5 edge rusher against the run. That is for sure. Even though he's not the 10-15 sack guy, he's a top 5 edge rusher against the run, and he did have, I think, 7.5 sacks or 7 sacks last year. Okay, so we're going to go with Deion Walker for the next film. That'll be fun. Oh, Deion Walker. Yeah, right. He's an absolute beast. We'll go with Deion Walker. Don't know exactly when that'll be. We'll try to maybe get on later tonight. If not, we'll be on tomorrow, I would think. But it seems like during the week gives us a little bit more traction when people aren't doing, family stuff, which is awesome, which is I'm going to go do that as well. So love everybody. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't, follow if you haven't, and we will talk to you soon. Big things for the Buffalo Bills doing their deal. Can't wait. Super excited. Let's keep it rolling. Go Bills. Cold front.